So if you weren't sure what happened last week, you joined a nursing honor society called Sigma. It's an international society. It's pretty huge. And you are now members of the Beta Alpha chapter, and we are thrilled to have you. We have, I want to say, like three or 400 active members. So that's just the dues paying members. We have thousands of Sigma members with Beta Alpha. And once you're a member, you're always a member. So if you are a member for a couple of years and you stop paying, you don't have time for meetings, but then you decide a year after that you want to join again, all you do is pay your current dues. You don't have to back pay anything. There's no fee involved, like extra fee. You just pay the dues for that current year, and you're an active member again. So there's no penalty for if you took a break or you're relocating or you just weren't active at the moment. You join back whenever you can. And there's no shame. No one goes, oh, so now you're coming back. We welcome you back always. So I mentioned at induction, we have over 135,000 members around the world in over 100 countries. And if you get a chance to go to the biennium, which every 2 years they have this huge conference somewhere in the country. Every other year it's in Indianapolis, but then, or every other convention it's in Indianapolis. But then there's every other conferences there elsewhere around the country. And the last time it was in DC. And they have members from all over the world, like I said, come in, and they do this thing called the House of Delegates, where we all sit in room in this gigantic ballroom, and we get to vote on things for Sigma International, on bylaws and structure and officers. And it's really neat to see. And at the beginning of the conference, they do a procession. So all the countries process in holding their flag and often dressed in like a culturally significant outfit for their country. And it's really, really cool to see them to process in. And like we've learned also in induction, this started in 1922 just by 6 nurses who wanted more and wanted to kind of show the world, like, we are more than a bedside nurse. We are leaders, and we have ideas, and we want to make a difference. And our name, Sigma Theta Tau, are the 3 Greek letters, and they stand for Sigma being love, Theta being courage, and Tau being honor. And they are considered the values that are the root of the nursing profession. And how you were selected. So for our students, for our undergraduate students, the minimum required is you've completed at least half of your nursing curriculum. So we start inviting members to join in their junior 2 semester. And you've achieved academic excellence, and we determine that based on your rank within your cohort. So when we look at like the junior 2 cohort, we take the top 35%. And I have to say, like, with TCU, we have so many academically excelling students. It's really hard when we're making that cutoff at 35%, because it's so close to the person who is like 36, basically. But you're in that top rank, which is amazing. And then also you meet the expectations of academic integrity. So there were never concerns about how you perform or how you're performing academically. You're honest, you have integrity, and you're a hard worker. Then when we invite our master's and doctoral students, they should have completed at least a quarter of their nursing curriculum. For our chapter, we do accept them when they are entering into grad school, and as they're leaving grad school. A lot of times they want to start become members if they hadn't become a member already, because it will help them as they're looking for careers to network. So we do invite doctorate and master's nursing students as well. And we don't have to require them to be halfway through like the undergrad students, because also they've been in the nursing world, and they would meet the criteria to be a member under nurse leader criteria, which is our 3rd way you could join. And that's where you just have to have a minimum of a bachelor's in nursing. And you demonstrate achievement in nursing excellence. And our nurse leaders who join us submit a resume and just a brief description of what they do and what makes them a nurse leader in their industry. And we're thrilled to have nurse leaders join our chapter each year. And to help recruit nurse leaders as well, we do go out to different hospitals, like during Nurses Week, we'll set up a table and meet some of the nurses there and invite them to join. And a lot of times when we're there, we're actually inviting them to reactivate their membership, because often it's someone who kind of let it lapse after maybe graduation or the first couple of years, and then they just come back and join us again. So we love having our nurse leaders joining us. And then for our structure, so you have like the international level, the big hoo-ha, the big International Honor Society of Nursing, and then within that we have a chapter president, Richard Ricciardi, and then his board would be the president-elect, vice president, treasurer, counselor, and secretary, and then below that are the members, which are all of us. So that's the higher level. When we get higher than that, there's an international structure, and the House of Delegates, which I mentioned. Every chapter, we have a voice in Sigma, and at those bienniums, we send 2 delegates, and it can be anyone. It can be 2 board members, but it can be 2 members that go. So that's one of those benefits you might want to think about when you are looking for your place in Sigma or with Beta Alpha chapter, is considering maybe you could serve as one of our delegates going to biennium, and you get to view, all the things that they're going to vote on, have a say in it, ask questions, and participate in that giant ballroom experience where they are voting on, the rules and regulations and setup of our organization. So below the House of Delegates, we have the board of directors, a CEO, and a past CEO of Sigma was Pat Thompson, who used to be a faculty here at TCU. And she came to speak to our chapter, and we invited UTA and TWU, and I know I'm forgetting someone. There was another chapter. It's going to come back to me, Baylor, I believe, to join us, and we invited her for our dinner and speaking engagement. And then under the CEO, she has a staff, because it's a business. And they are all housed out of Indianapolis. And this is our current president. And with our president, so we elect a new president every biennium or every 2 years, and they have what's called a call to action. It's kind of like a theme of their presidency. And Richard's is Infuse Joy, which is really wonderful. And he does have a great talk on that, which you can actually view on Sigma's website, which I'll show you soon. He calls to ask us to infuse joy in all we do. And because we face challenges that can lead to things like burnout, and nursing can lead to staffing shortages, incivility and violence, lack of control in the workplace, misaligned policies and regulations. And so he has this theme of infused joy, where we learn to work together, appreciate each other, and kind of lift each other up more. So not so much as about the infused joy being happy all the time, but collaborating with each other, working together, and being aware of how we can improve nursing for where we work individually, and then a little bit bigger and looking out globally or regionally. He actually spoke, because of the pandemic, his schedule was a little bit easier to get a hold of. He had less engagements to attend to, and he spoke at our end of the year celebration this past April, with like 3 days of notice. I just sent him an email on a whim. I was like, if you're not busy, we'd love to have you join our end of the year celebration. And he responded immediately, I would love to. And he ended up being our guest speaker, or one of our guest speakers for the end of the year celebration. Okay, so if you haven't already, if you go on to My Membership or Membership, you can start to set up your membership and your profile with Sigma. Anything you need is your email address, which you probably have already submitted because of accepting the induction, you're accepting the induction invitation to join. So then once you are set up in that, you can establish your profile, you can renew your membership through here. And then they have a lot of other things we can get to, and I'll show you some of the other things on their site. I will say that they describe their site as very easy to navigate. But again, I'm kind of like turning into my mother, but I don't want to admit that, but I am, and find their site a little bit difficult to navigate, but I'm getting better at it. So some of the benefits of joining Sigma, so not just for our chapter, but bigger. You get free continuing education courses through them. There are some too that you can pay for, but they have a ton that are free, which is wonderful, and all online. Plus, if you go in person, you can have the benefit of going to their conferences and leadership meetings and things. But a huge source of just the free online sources. Free journals. And I'm going to show you that in a minute too. Free peer-reviewed journals that you can access for if you're doing research projects, or if you're maybe on a committee that's helping to revise your policies and procedures for your work. They have the repository, it's called, and you can access a lot of things for free there that otherwise might cost a lot of money. Career connections. This is a great way to network. And you'll see when you set up your profile on the circle, they call it, how you can kind of get in touch with people from all around the world, around the country. So if you're looking to change your career, or you want to work in a different area, with geographically a new area or a nursing new area, there's so many people you can reach out to and engage with. And then conversations on the circle. And that's another way that you can just talk with other nurses, other professionals about, something you're interested in, questions about how to do something in the unit that you work in, or how they do things differently, maybe in a different part of the world or a different region. But it's an easy way to get connected, and you'll get a response. It's not like you're posting something out there and it's gone forever. Someone's going to respond to you pretty quickly. And so when you go on to other things they have are things called a webcast called What's Next. There's a virtual tour that they give you of Sigma you can listen to. The webcast they have now also offer CE, and I know, like, for our undergraduate students, it's not something you need at this time, but in the next year or two, you're going to start looking for things, and this is an easy way to get it. And with their webcast now, it's something you could listen to on your way to work or whatever, and then take the test and you get free CE. Volunteer opportunities. So if you want to get more involved, they have ways to get involved you can look for volunteer opportunities through Sigma. Some things might be more local, some things might be further away. There may even be international opportunities for volunteering, but there's a lot of events that you can look into that can help you, if you want to pursue more opportunities for that. There's also a job board on there. So like I mentioned, if you wanted a change of a career, or maybe after, if you go into grad school and you're looking for something new, they have a job board you can look at to see where you want to take your next step. And they also will, you can meet with people, mentors through Sigma that'll help guide you as you're applying for jobs too, and going through that. So the website where you would do most of your networking, it's called The Circle. And from that, there are different ways you can access member benefits and also get in touch with other members. One is the communities of interest and forums. So you can sign up if you're going to be a NICU nurse, you can sign up for the NICU forum. And then that will just be people post questions in there or things they've learned. And you can get emails weekly or monthly, however you want. You can set it up, but then see what other people are talking about in that community or in that area of interest. Chapter websites, and I'm going to show you ours soon if you haven't been to it already. Every Sigma chapter has a website, and ours is available right through the Circle. International opportunities, as I mentioned, you can do things internationally and get connected pretty quickly to figure out how to do that. So whether it's a conference, a research conference, it might be a mission trip, but there's several opportunities you can find by clicking there. Career Center, as I mentioned, they have job opportunities you can find. and then work groups. And if you get involved with the board of Sigma, which we would love for you to be involved with the board, and we'll give you another way to do that too. They have a thing called Alt Chapter Leader Work Group, and there's other work groups in there as well. But with that, they give you, it's kind of like people in the same level as you, asking questions, or putting out suggestions or trying to improve something. But it's a great way to work with other people who are like you looking for the same thing. And like I said, there's many different communities of interest. So if there's something in particular you're interested in, like the pediatrics community or oncology community, you can sign up for these through the circle, and that's what your focus, your discussions or emails would be focused on, that they all send to you. Or when you go in there, it would be like your community of interest would show up when you click on it. And this is our site. So with our site, it usually has our message, but what was recently added is our induction ceremony. So if you didn't get to participate, maybe you were busy that day or you're completing your transition to practice clinical, the induction ceremony is on there, so you can watch that now. Or if you want to share it with your family or friends who were not able to be there, it is there for you to watch. And I'm going to show you our page in a moment, but let me get through this because my link's not there. I mentioned volunteerism. On the circle is where you can find like volunteer opportunities that are international and also regional or local. They might be volunteering at conferences, submitting, or something like submitting a testimonial for something. But there's different ways for you to volunteer through there. And I've mentioned their career center, where not only can you find jobs, but you can also request a mentor. So maybe you're looking to grow into a certain area. You can request a mentor through Sigma, and as well as do job searches there as well. You could also become a mentor in Sigma too. So as you're getting more experience, you can always apply to be a mentor for them. They have a marketplace. So, because we love the color purple too, which is really nice. So Sigma is all purple. So there are things you want at the marketplace, you can get it in purple, and it's part of Sigma and TCU then. I also mentioned, like, we offer the free CNE courses. They have that available as well. They do have some that you do have to pay for, but there's so many that are free. This is the marketplace I mentioned, and you do get a discount there for being a member. They have several books you can purchase, but also several pieces of merchandise, from hats to shirts to ties and scarves and everything in between. Sigma repository, this is where you would find research papers, peer-reviewed journals, presentations from previous conferences. It's a great place to search if you're looking, or maybe you saw a show at a conference, or not a show, a presentation at a conference. You could search it and you may be able to find it right here. If it was a Sigma member, it might be in here, or if it was at a Sigma conference. I haven't even looked, but I bet Nancy's poster or presentation is in here. I was like, we'll have to look for that. I'm going to make a note of that, so I look for that. Nancy's going to talk about that too. Sorry, I'm really writing this down so I don't forget. Yeah. We received, mentioned free CNE. I say this a lot, they give us a slide deck. But we also have free journals, access journals. They're peer review journals, Worldviews on Evidence-Based Nursing, and then the Journal of Nursing Scholarship. And those are free access for you. Evidence-based nursing journals. So like I said, if you're on that committee that's doing policies and procedures, this would be a good resource for you. And then every month you're going to get an email, the Sigma update, which comes from Sigma headquarters, and it has upcoming events that they might be having, volunteer opportunities. It's going to direct you back to their website, but it's going to give you the most recent news and any changes that may have occurred within headquarters or things coming up. Yeah. For us, so your benefit to us, one, it's a local connection and a way to network, and you're always welcome to come back. We want you to be active and we want you to share ideas you have to make our chapter bigger, better, more engaged. So always speak up when you want to make something better with our chapter or for TCU. There's also a leadership intern, and we'll come back to that in just a second. We often host local events here, guest presentations such as on leadership or scholarship. It might be someone that's talking about service, and it'd be an organization we might give money to or volunteer with, or they talk about the organization of what they do, and then we try to partner with them to help their program. We do collaborate with other chapters. We worked with UTA last in February. We had a special dinner where we invited Cynthia Vlasic to come in, and she gave a presentation on the World Health Organization and Sigma's involvement with it. We also have service opportunities where we, lately it's been more we give money, such as raising money for Lone Star Human Services, Inc., which is on Facebook, our Facebook page, and you can still give until October 31st of this week. And then also celebrations. And we used to do more celebrations. We still do all our board meetings and member meetings often off-site, where there was food and beverages involved. But things have slowed down a bit, but hopefully we'll get back there soon. But I do want to take you to our site. Let me see. I'm going to stop sharing that site for a moment. Okay. So on our site, like I mentioned, we have our little welcome message. You can find the induction ceremony on there. A list of our board of directors, which may not be the most up to date. It has to be up to date. Get it up to date. That's not a word. Chapter events. So I mentioned the Founders Day fundraiser, where we're raising money for Lone Star Human Services. So you can go there. There's a little click that gets you a link right to our Facebook page where you can give to that or ask friends and family to help give and share on your Facebook page so more will give. Then down here is this thing called Leadership Intern Application for 2021. And that's what I'm going to ask Nancy to talk about her experience. Nancy Lazar is our current leadership intern. So for now, I'm going to stop sharing and ask Nancy to talk a little bit about that.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Nancy Lazar. And like Professor Bartel said, I'm the leadership intern for Sigma Theta Taus Beta Alpha chapter here at TCU. And first and foremost, I want to start out by saying congratulations. You're now part of an amazing group here, and you have the potential to do amazing things. So I want you to be very proud of yourself. Okay, I want to talk to you today about being a leadership intern because my term is coming to an end, and more importantly, I'm about to graduate. So my time at TCU is coming to an end, and I'm ready to pass on the torch to another really great intern. So being a leadership intern during nursing school is a really great opportunity to be involved in the world of nursing beyond just the classroom. So you get to influence your school and your community here at Fort Worth by doing this. So to be the leadership intern, you got to agree to a 1-year term. It's a 2-semester long commitment, and you get to work closely with the president of the Beta Alpha chapter. So this year it was Professor Dot Bartel, and I think next year it's going to be somebody different. But I'm telling you, all the professors here in Sigma are really amazing people who will give you a wonderful experience. So basically, you just kind of get to sit in on the meetings, and you can voice your opinion on a variety of different things. And finally, with leadership intern, you're required to complete a project while you're serving your 1-year term here. So I want to kind of talk about what I did. I got to design a community nursing project, and I talked about this during the open meeting. So you might have heard this already. If not, I'm about to tell you again. Um, I, before COVID, was starting to collaborate with a homeless shelter in downtown Fort Worth to create, in a sense, like a free checkup session for the homeless population. And my vision was to involve the nurse practitioner students at TCU and the UNT Health Science Center medical students to kind of help us complete this checkup. And this would have benefited the homeless because they would have had an opportunity to check their health. And this would have also benefited the nursing students and the medical students because they would have gotten the chance to practice like vitals and focus assessments, things of that nature. But unfortunately, COVID completely shut down that plan. So instead, I came up with ways to volunteer for COVID in the Fort Worth community. Some of those opportunities you could have done just at home, and some of those opportunities you could have gone out in the field and helped. And I put all those opportunities on an interactive and clickable flyer and kind of spread it out on social media. But you know, things are now starting to slowly open back up. So next semester or even next year, you might be able to do something to the extent that I wanted to do in Fort Worth. So you get to get that opportunity. And then another experience that I got to have that Professor Bartel mentioned earlier was that I got to have my research paper that I did for my Roles 3 class submitted to the Sigma Theta Tau Nursing Congress uh, research, what is it called? The convention, yes. And they sent me an email encouraging me to submit any research I had done, and my group in class just got finished writing a 10-page paper, and I thought to myself, you know what's the harm of submitting this? And sure enough, our paper got chosen. And at the time I was supposed to have gone to Abu Dhabi to present it, but again, COVID, closed all that down. So it got switched to a virtual format. And I still got to show nurses all around the world what me and my group found. And these nurses are going to take our findings and implement it in their own practice. So not only did I get to kind of make changes in the Fort Worth community, but I got to make changes on like a global community, just being the leadership intern here. So this is a really great experience. I think that's an understatement. It's a really great experience. And if you feel like this is something you want to take on, I urge you to apply. Professor Bartel put the link to apply for this on the Sigma website, which I want to copy and paste into the chat for you. Okay, it's right there. You guys can type that in and definitely apply. It does not hurt. And if you get chosen, congrats. So that's all I have to say. Does anyone have any questions for me? No? Okay. All right.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, Nancy. So on that, on our page, let me pull it up. And you get to be a part of the board, like we mentioned. You work alongside the chapter leadership, and you're a very active role in it. Like we want you involved. You're not like sitting there as a silent partner or just an observer. You are there as part of the team. In addition to like just a great experience of being a part of the board, we're also would give this person $300 at the end, and they can use this towards their NCLEX, or they're applied to membership dues for the next following year, or attend a Sigma conference if they like with it. So you get a monetary reward with that as well. You get to network with other nurse leaders, and you'll meet a lot of some of our other nurse leaders as well, not just all our members, but some of the outside like TCU members as well. This is also a great resume builder. This looks fantastic on your resume. What else about it? I say, like, we started doing this, I think this is our 4th or 5th year now with the leadership intern. And ex- it's been wonderful. It helps to just have a new perspective coming into our chapter 2, helping us with ideas about because it's always a student, what's more important to the students. And you pick a service project, or you might be helping with develop our newsletter, helping us with social media so we don't post like my mom on social media. Nothing wrong with my mom's post, but it's, that's how she is. Um, so if you're interested in that, the application is on there, and I have the due date of December 11th on there. It's a short application with your resume and then 4 questions to answer about it. And then you would submit that either to the nursing admin office, or you can email it directly to me. And then we'll let you know by January who our next leadership intern is. Oh, oops. Let me go back and share again. Let me check chat, make sure we don't have any questions. Okay, let me go back to sharing then. So our chapter leaders, our site, I pulled this off our chapter site. It doesn't not, I just updated some of our leaders today, and I don't think it updated entirely. But you can see our board on there, most of them. Our next president will likely be Miss Ashley Seal. I think she got kicked off our call today, our Zoom call. She's trying to get back in, but she will likely be the next president. Our counselors are Tilke, and Marie Stark is not listed here. We have Leadership Succession Committee, which Ms. Ashley Seal has been a part of, and Dr. Kinsey. They help to us find our next chapter leaders and recruit leaders for that. We have a fundraising chair. So I'm sure you all know Ms. Kim Graham. We also offer CPR, and probably most of you have gone through our CPR class here. And that was an initiative started by our Beta Alpha chapter. It's a way to make sure we are all getting, all our students and faculty are getting consistent education for CPR. So if you've gone to CPR somewhere else and then taken a course through TCU, hopefully it was the same, but it may have been a little bit different experience. And I know when I was taking a CPR class when I was a student here at TCU in 2010, the experience I had with my CPR class was we were at this lady's house. Her air conditioning had gone out. She had Wheel of Fortune playing, and her dogs were running around, and our whole lesson probably took about 20-30 minutes. And then we were done. So not the best probably education we received for CPR, but we got certified. But after hearing stories like that, our board at the time decided that was there was a better way to do it, and that's when we brought the CPR program in-house, and you could be a part of that as well. We also offer research grants, and we have a research committee with Dr. Jackson Sanalis Otika and Dr. Bayshore, who head that up, and they take in applications from people who need research money or grant money for their research, either in gerontology, which would be a Huxtell research, or nursing research grant through the Beta Alpha chapter. And we give money back to them so they can do research, and they head that up for us. Upcoming things for our chapter. This past spring, we wanted to do a 5K with Cook Children for BLAST, for neuroblastoma, and it got canceled. They're offering it again this year, and they have a plan to do it virtually or in person. They have they're prepared for either way, and we are working on a team again. And Dr. Ann Johnson is working on that for us, heading that up. We have research presentations. So when we give out research grants, we invite those researchers to come back and share what they've done with that money, what they found with their research. And so we will have some presentations coming this spring. We are collaborating with THR, with Harris. They are going to do a nursing research conference in the fall, next fall, and have invited us to be a part of that. So we may be a part of that planning committee. We always do an end of the year celebration. Um, Last year we had our first virtual one. Hopefully by the April 2021, maybe we can do something in person. If not, it'll be another virtual one, but maybe we can do it in person. It's much more fun in person. And then presentations. So usually we invite like a nurse leader to come in, or like I mentioned before, someone who maybe has a service or a charitable organization that they head up, and they come and talk to us about that. And so hopefully this spring we'll have one or two of those meetings as well. And then this past year, like this is our 50th anniversary year, which is huge. And we had some plans to have like a dinner at Joe T's, and we talked about doing a past presidents dinner or luncheon, and a lot of things kind of fell through. So hopefully, maybe sometime in 2021 we can do kind of go out and do more celebrating besides our virtual celebrations that we've been doing, because we are a chapter that likes to eat. Upcoming international events. So Nancy mentioned she was invited to speak at the Nursing Research Congress. Next year in 2021, it's supposed to be in Singapore. And that's supposed to take place in July. Right now, we don't know if it's going to be in Singapore or virtual, but that's coming up again. In February, there's an event for creating healthy work environments in Austin, which if they're doing that in person, that might be something we could even send members down to participate in. And then, as I mentioned, our biennial convention in this November 2021 will be in Indianapolis. And then together, actually, I'm going to bypass that one for now and come back. So are there any questions about Sigma? What I want you to do, I want you to set up your profile on the circle. So you go to the circle and you set up your profile. Like us on Facebook. We also have an Instagram page. Like us on Instagram. I can't remember if we have Twitter or not. So as I'm saying all these things, the past year, Nancy has been wonderful to help us with getting our Instagram up. We've had it up before. She was helping with adding more to it. And before that, Kendall Clarkson was helping us with some of our Facebook things. If you are a social media expert, that might be a great connection for a leadership intern or a social media committee. So if you're really good at that, if you can do, we're not on TikTok yet, but maybe we need to be on TikTok. I don't know. So if that's your thing, if you could do that, that would be fantastic. I'm just proud, like I could figure out how to put up like an Instagram story now. And my kids are like, because I'm a one-trick pony, I know how to add music to it. And they're like, again? Yeah, I'm like, yeah. A webmaster. So this week I've been playing with our website and probably spending way too much time on it, but I think I got kind of figured out. But if that's something that you've done before and you think you could work to be kind of a webmaster for us, reach out to me and let me know, because we will sign you up. And I was like, hey, here it is. And let me get you on that to help us with that. We also do that every 2 years, we have the opportunity to apply for what's called the Chapter Key, which is Chapter Key Award. It's a really prestigious award. And it means that you've met these, it's like 50 some milestones that they want your chapter to reach to be eligible. And we send a huge report. And we've won it 3 times now, 2011, 2017, and then 2019. One of the things too is like updating our website's part of that. And so if our website looks really good, you can help us with that. But then other ideas you have for like member engagement. So whatever you think you could do to take this a step further, we are interested in that and would love to have you as part of that. What else do I have? That's it. Or if you're good at just taking pictures, because it's one of those things I do not do well at. I forget after the end of the event, I'm like, oh, I forgot to take pictures. So if you could be a photographer for an event, that would be wonderful too. Anything else? Anything that any of our board members would like to share, or other members on the call?
I just want to say congratulations to everybody.
Ms. Otika. We are thrilled to have you guys as members. Congratulations. It's a really big deal. You know, take pictures, put them on our Facebook to celebrate your new membership. We are thrilled to have you, and let us know what we can do to help you. And then if you can commit to a year as a leadership intern, go to our website and apply for that position. Well, that is all I have. If you don't have any questions, then I'm going to say good night, and I will see you guys around campus or around Fort Worth. Welcome to Sigma Theta Tau Beta Alpha chapter. I'll hang online in case anyone has questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.